Child, speaking of in insurance fraud and things of that nature, let's talk about Sunny Hostin's husband, because apparently her husband, who was a surgeon, an orthopedic surgeon, Manny Hostin, is being accused of taking kickbacks, and he is caught up in one of the biggest RICO schemes in New York City. So it's like, yeah, we got to talk about this because we know she ain't going to talk about it on The View. Now, orthopedic surgeon Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin is among nearly 200 defendants named in one of the largest RICO cases ever filed in New York. He and many of the others are accused of getting kickbacks by performing surgery and fraudulently billing a company that insures tax companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. Now, Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries, the lawsuit filed on December 17th claims. The insurance firm American Transit was then billed in exchange for kickbacks and slash or other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. Now, Hostin's attorney, Daniel Thwaites, told DailyMail.com his client denies each and every allegation and called the lawsuit a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near bankrupt insurance carrier. Okay. Saying it is meant to intimidate and harass doctors from collecting or care given to American Transit insureds and their passengers. He said Hostin has an impeccable record, adding American Transit has rushed into the lawsuit without ever conducting an examination of Dr. Hostin or expressing any concerns to his lawyers. Now, the real story here is about an insurance carrier abusing the legal system to limit and restrict healthcare benefits to its to its insureds and its passengers to write off as proper obligations. Now, see, now this is some Luigi Mangione mess. We sit up here literally talking about how these insurance companies abusing the system to limit and restrict healthcare benefits to the insurance people, well, the insured and the passengers, so they can write off certain things and they won't have to pay it. So look, it's not just United Healthcare that's doing it. It seems like in so many ways, all these insurance companies out here doing it. So, Sonny, who's 56, has been married to the doctor for nearly a quarter of a century. They tied the knot in 1988 and have 2 children and live in a palatial 10-bed, 10-bath estate in Purchase, New York. Majority of the View people, for all that money they got, this is why I always said, like, they can't really relate to us regular folk, but they be sitting up there, and that's why it irritated my spirit when they was all on that show talking about Luigi and making him out to be this terrible. I was like, I get it, because you're part of ABC, you're corporate media, so you're going to play into that whole thing, but not understanding why Luigi did what he did. And then also talk about these insurance companies who were doing what they was doing. So, they definitely gonna come down on Sunny with this, because I know a lot of people do not like Sunny on The View. She comes across as very uppity. She comes across as very pompous, and very off-putting in the way that she comes across. And I won't say it's because, strong black woman type of situation, whatever it is, because I'm always here for a strong woman. But sometimes her delivery comes across like she acts like she's a damn know-it-all. And then there's times where she'll even which makes me uncomfortable at times when I watch The View, how she'll come down on her husband and how she'll, say like embarrassing things regarding him on the show, which I think this article even hints on that, but we'll get into that. So they also said that because I want to make sure I don't reread the same damn thing. Oh, they said they met in church in Maryland, where he graduated from Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine in 1996. And the funny thing is, if y'all got empty nest syndrome, and she talked about she got chickens and all other stuff in her house too, but I'm like, if y'all got empty nest syndrome, right, why the hell do y'all live in a 10-bed, 10-bath estate? I'd have to sell it, because her son, I don't think, lives there anymore. And I don't think her daughter lives there anymore either, because they're both off away at college. Sunny is a lawyer and a former prosecutor. She's a senior legal correspondent and analyst for ABC News, as well as a co-host on The View. So, funnily enough, I do have some of the receipts and stuff here. So they said that the surgical orthopedic providers purportedly performing arthroscopic procedures at by and or the surgical ASC include but not limited to defendants Ackerman, Apazides, Baum, Berkowitz, Burston, Daza, Graziosa, Har, Hostin, Catherine. So these are all, I guess, the names of all the people who were performing the procedures. And then they also have the surgical orthopedic providers. The orthopedic providers build in their individual capacity and or through professional entities of which they are record owners. So they have all that information there. I know if y'all watch this on TV, you can probably see it a whole lot better. Um, and he also said that Emmanuel Hostin is a natural person residing in the state of New York, was licensed to practice medicine in the state of New York on or about August 6, 2002, under license number. And they got all that other stuff up in here. And, and here's how with the family. Daughter got some thick hair. First of all, shout out to Sonny Hostin, because you got a fine ass son. That's a good looking boy. And look, he's of age, so I can say that. He's in college. I believe he's like 22. I ain't gonna be Drea though. I'm not gonna try to go out there and pursue this little boy. I don't even think he's a part of the homosexual community. But it's like, yeah, I'm not going after no 22-year-old. So, but they also said this. Now, she is no stranger to talking about her marriage on The View. Back in February, co-host Whoopi Goldberg branded her a bitch when Hostin openly slammed her husband's cooking live on air. She has also shared painful experiences, including about her struggles with infertility, because, both of her children were born via IVF. Before, as I said, she has, okay, so like I said, her son is 22 and her daughter is 18. Now, in January 2021, she revealed the tragic news that her husband's parents, who were both physicians, had died of COVID over the holiday break. Now, in the suit filed in federal court in Brooklyn, Dr. Hostin, who's 54, is named as the owner of Hostin Orthopedics, working out of an 8th floor office on Lexington Avenue, close to Manhattan's Grand Central Terminal. American Transit claims rampant insurance fraud is endemic in New York State thanks to its no-fault law, under which insurers must pay up to $50,000 for medical expense for people injured in road accidents. These substantial possible no-fault recoveries can incentivize providers with ill intent to overdiagnose, overtreat, and overbill to recover the most money for themselves. And I don't like this whole no-fault situation. So it's like, we can do whatever, but you can't even come at us. Hence why Luigi Mangione, if we really want to get into it, did what he did. Oh, so there's no fault in what y'all doing? Oh, I'm going to show you fault. Pow, pow, motherfucker. So that's maybe what they looking at with that. So the law was introduced in 1974 in the wake of rapidly rising automobile insurance costs and when accident victims were experiencing long delays in compensation, American Transit says in the suit. But taxis and rideshare vehicles are now required to pay up to $200,000, 4 times the coverage of private drivers. This has put a target on the backs of livery vehicles and the insurance companies which insure them for unsavory persons seeking to capitalize on payouts following injuries. Now, in the egregious, those abusing the no-fault law have racked up hundreds of millions of fraudulent payments, destabilized the livery insurance market in New York City, increased premiums for hardworking taxi can and livery drivers, and harm the public. And don't even get me started on that increase with the $900 tolls that they got out here in New York, which is freaking ridiculous. Now, American Transit is seeking more than $450 million in damages in the case. Now, the insurance company claims that Hostin was given an investment interest in Empire State Ambulatory Surgery Center in exchange for referring a steady stream of patients. The Empire State ASC issued regular payments to or for the benefit of Hostin, which in fact were illegal kickbacks for referrals. As examples, the insurance company claims Hostin, who is affiliated with several top New York hospitals, including Mount Sinai and Lenox Hill, saw 2 patients in January of 2023 who were involved in low-impact collisions that should have caused no more than soft tissue injuries. So, also what they say, okay, so, and then we're almost done with the story. So now in both cases, Hostin is said to have performed arthroscopic surgery with 2 months without seeing if the patients would have recovered through more conservative care. Now, William Natbany, an attorney for American Transit, told DailyMail.com no-fault fraud is a huge problem in New York. American Transit filed a lawsuit as part of their statutory responsibility to fight such fraud. But Stephen Harfinist, a lawyer who has repped defendants in similar cases, told Law.com that the lawsuit looked like a Hail Mary by American Transit. He called it a desperate attempt to wiping out large swaths of receivables by targeting smaller practices that might settle because they can't afford litigation. So that's the latest on this. And that was a lot. But I will definitely keep you abreast of the story as it develops. We'll see if Sonny speaks out on it. But she'll probably be like, well, look, this is my husband's legal situation. I can't speak on it. But then again, sis, you are a lawyer. You're a legal correspondent. You were an attorney. You love, as you love to remind us every time you're behind us on The View, you do your legal notes every damn episode. So you can do a little legal jargon where you can put it in a way where we know what's going on. So you can in a way speak on it, but you can speak lawyer. And we'll just have somebody get up on social media and decipher what you're saying, but not necessarily saying what you need to say. But so I'll definitely keep you guys abreast of the story as it develops, because it did come out a couple of hours. Like, I think literally an hour before I went live, this story broke on Daily Mail was the only one reporting it. But I'm sure the other ones will pick it up and we'll see this gain traction. And I'll break it down even more as it develops. So I say all this to say, what do you think of this story in regards of Sonny's husband being accused of insurance fraud? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.